Hello, I am outside of 10th, so I'm gonna turn you around and show you out front. Okay, I am on the sweet little deck that leads you to the entrance. So there's a little sitting area here. You could probably fit a small table and chairs, and that looks over the front yard. And there's also, you can't hardly see them because there's a low layer of marine layer, but there's the mountains you can see in between there. They're all along there, but there's just some heavy, definitely there. So just showing you that. Wait, sorry. There we go. There's the front yard. It is a little bit sloped, but it's a good size. It's not like crazy sloped. I'm gonna go down just 3 stairs to the driveway. Is slightly sloped, and I'm trying to get the angle for you just a little bit downhill. And then you have this covered area here to the side, so you have covered area parking, and you also have gravel parking and driveway parking. So lots of parking out here. Someone's doing a weed whacker or blower or something, so it's normally not, you can probably hear that machine going. Oh, there's some more mountains. Yay. Once you move here, you'll learn that when they're out, we have to tell everybody, the mountains are out. Anyway, we're quite proud of those mountains. There's a gate to the backyard. I'll show you the back in a minute, but the neighbors all are nicely kept in both front and back. So you'll see more of that in a minute. Okay, going in the front door, all very connected. You have the kitchen pass through, living room, family room through there. So let's start with the living room. This is a nice L couch. It's placed well. You can see there's some space. You could pull that back. I think they just wanted to make the entry feel not so tight. So it's not huge, but there's room to walk around, room to sit and have your TV. You could, this is a freestanding fireplace. It's not a real one, so it's just plugged in there. If you didn't have that, you could put a couple chairs there, so there'd be additional seating. You could also, if you had something like that, I think that will go when the staging leaves. If you had something like that, you could put it under the TV and then hang the TV, so you had one focal point. Might use the room a little better considering how tight it is. You do have a split unit that has heat and air. The outside heat pump was right in that covered parking area. Family room, lots of storage. I was just looking because this one does not seem permanently attached, so I think that one will go. It's got no legs. This one's right on the floor, and I'll have to ask to see if it's going to stay or go. But that looks real nice there, has lots of storage. If you had something similar, you could run it like that and still have some room to sit or a desk. If you wanted to make this an office, it'd be definitely wider without these two things going on in here. This just has lots of storage. Nice tall hanging storage. Direct access to the laundry, a little half bath, maybe a shower over here. Yes, 3/4 bath. So it has shower, toilet, sink, washer, dryer, cabinets above. Ooh, Insta hot water heater, very nice. This goes out to your backyard, so no access directly from the house to that covered parking. So you'd have to come through the front door. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, the kitchen. Okay. So again, no direct access to that covered area, but to bring groceries in easily, you could go through the gate at the covered area in here and right into your kitchen. That's what I would do. Anyway. Hey, kitchen. Beautiful real wood cabinets. The doors, that one is not. I will point out there was some doors that were really nice. Solid wood doors. These cabinets are nice solid wood. Butcher block countertops. A little bit of open shelving. There's a couple like stain marks on the, but that's just not sealed well. These don't have a very good, you might need to hit that with another coat of sealing to avoid that marking happening, because there's a little bit of that. I think they probably they did a sanding before putting it on the market. So very nice range, looks newer, definitely. New hardware, new cabinetry. Let's see if they have any like pull-outs happening. No, but you could add those if you like that. So not a ton of cabinets, not a ton. That one's under the sink, so you just have the 1, 2 and a half. Those are drawers under storage. This is taking up a lot of your, what would typically be another cabinet. So if you don't have a ton of need for storage, you only have 2 uppers and then just 2.5 really lowers. You could add some over here, but pretty small in the way of cabinetry. This is more of a pantry because there is no actual like walk-in pantry. So that's just here in this dinette area, right off from the kitchen. But great quality. There's the hardwood door I was talking about. Solid core door for your closet. Entry closet, coat closet. Okay, this is right at the corner from the entry, just some more storage. Put board games or things like that for entertaining because it's right here in the area where that would all happen. We'll go out there in a minute. Okay, coming down the hall, you have full bathroom, bedroom, linen, very nice doors, bedroom with access to the bathroom, and bedroom. So these bedrooms, this one in particular is not huge. That is a chair. So this feels like twin bed only. Office, craft room, something small here. Mountain view. And full closet, just standard depth. Yep. And that is directly across the hall from what I would say is the primary because it has the attached bedroom to bath. And that is your half, well, it was a 3/4 actually, 3/4 bath on the far side of the house. And then you have this full bath, but it is shared. There is no like technical ensuite to a bedroom, which happens in these smaller homes. This is shared with the hall. So this is your primary though. Looks out on the backyard. It is private with that hedge. We'll get out there in a minute. And then you just have the one standard depth closet. And I do not see a place where you could put a dresser. So if you think your things could fit in a standard size closet, you may get a tall boy over here, but then you wouldn't have an end table There's one end table, and if you had a small end table that is like 1.5 feet wide right there around this bed. So very tight, but that's what you get with the smaller square feet. Nice double sink. The way this is, there's not tons of countertop. In my house, because we're kind of similar in that way, added some metal shelves, which looked really nice. They're from IKEA right here. And then that gave me this level of storage and a second level. So you could do that here. Get yourself some extra counter space. But you have all this too. That's nice. Store it away and not see it, but it's real handy. I'm surprised you get that full depth with your sinks right there. Usually not, but those are there. Okay, nice surround, not tile, but it looks like tile. The surround is formed to look like tile, so that looks really nice. One of the better surrounds that I've seen. Tub, nice door, and that's where it exits out to the rest of the house. And here's that third bedroom. This one's a little bigger, definitely bigger than the one next door. You could fit a queen in here, but you'd have enough room for an end table or two, no dressers, and then ability to just walk around the bed. So rooms are definitely tight. Mountain view. Standard closet. Okay, let's go look at that backyard. So it is sloped as well, just as slight as the front yard, going in that same direction. High in the back, slope, down to the front. This is level, beautiful covered space. Awesome space to entertain. It's right off of the 3/4 bath and the kitchen, and just nice place to hang out. You do have homes right there looking on from the street behind. This is their backyard, but they face the mountains here, so they'll be out there hanging out in the summertime and looking at the mountains. There is a car right there, so there is a little drive around garage situation with this house to the right of you, but feels private to these other sides. So this is 10th and poulsbo, walkable to Starbucks and Chinese food and Mexican food and churches and a little bit longer walk. I walk it almost every day. Not every day, every week, a couple times a week with my friend who lives just down the road here. That's why I walked by it already. We walk from here at her house on 11th, and this is 10th, all the way down to downtown. So it's doable. It's a nice long walk, and it's a really close location to all sorts of restaurants, and get that bonus mountain view.